All right, we're live.
Welcome to the SCIF. We're going to title this one, God Saved the Country Last Night. Period. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the American people for getting out there and voting early and showing up on election day. It was too big to rig. We still have to pay attention to the House, and they are pulling some shenanigans in some of these Senate races, like in Wisconsin. Hovde, who was leading the majority of the night, running pretty much with Trump the whole night, somehow lost by 27,000 votes in Milwaukee. And now they're pulling something with Brown out in Nevada and Kerry Lake in Arizona. And we got to keep an eye on these House races.
Yeah.
So welcome to the SCIF. I'm Matt. That's Stu. A big thank you to the Patriots who came out. That's a lot of gratitude. I think there was divine intervention in this as well. And we saved God, and God through us saved this country last night. And period. Amen. That's how I feel about it. Stu, what do you think?
Yeah, it was everybody really, did their part as much as Republicans as a whole are really reluctant, to go outside of the established you vote on election day. I really think, like you and I were saying earlier, the fact that we did that, it prevented them from having time to know how many votes were coming in for Trump and being able to affect it. Because we were looking at the voter totals here earlier, and if you look, this is where we stand right now. It's still subject to change, but Trump's sitting at 72 million votes, 72.5, and Harris is sitting at 67.8 million. And the point you made earlier was Biden had over 80 million votes.
Mm-hmm.
So where did these 15 million voters, Democratic voters, go? They didn't go over to Trump. They didn't vote for Kamala. Where did they go? Where did these 15 million people go? Was she that horrible of a candidate? I would say yes. But
so was he. So was he.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's the thing. They're like, oh, they weren't voting for Biden. They were voting against Trump. Well, where's that narrative now? Where did those people go? Did they realize that, wait, maybe Trump isn't as bad as we've been told? Maybe Kamala's worse? I don't know. But that was just something we were looking at earlier, and it didn't make sense.
No, none of it makes sense. I think the country had to go through this last 4 years to understand what that side really was, because every demographic split for Trump. Every demographic split for Trump. And Kamala didn't flip one county in the whole country. Okay.
Well, that's what my wife was telling me. There was something that had come up, and she was watching some news show, and they were talking about that the normal demographics that they like to rely on of, oh, college educated women vote this way, college educated men vote this way, African Americans vote this way, Hispanics vote that way. That doesn't really line up anymore, because the kind of the mask has been torn off, and people have realized, wait a minute, what we've been told our whole lives isn't necessarily the truth. And people now have, every day there's more and more of an opportunity for people to go around the mainstream media and what they're being told. And there are other outlets on YouTube, on Rumble, and everywhere else that are, giving a different perspective of the stories and of the spin and things like that. Because when you look at the news and the talking heads up there, and the White House and the establishment is saying, oh, the economy's great, there's no inflation, and you look at your grocery bill and you're spending $400 a week on food, and you're not buying steaks, and you're not buying filet mignon, you're buying chicken and pork and ground beef. You're buying staples that you can make multiple meals with, and they're like, no, it's fine, it's fine.
It's funny you say that, because they blew the border open and said, oh, the border is secure. Right. It's secure. The crime is down. Everything. This was like living in a movie, right? Everything was a lie. Absolutely everything. And everything was done to destroy everything.
What was it? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You look at what they did by bringing in all these. They use these people as a people bomb to destroy this country. So in a way, some of these people are victims too, that are still being flown into this country as we speak. And one thing I do want to say, we've got to keep our eyes on what they're doing with these counts and these recounts and the House. We must win the House,
Yeah,
or this is going to be a disaster. Yeah, they will block, they will get in the way of, and do not think that this is over. They're going to pull something between now and January. They are going to. I think there's a very good.
Raskin's already, was it Jamie
It was
Raskin? Is that his name?
Yeah, Maryland.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's already made the comments that if Trump gets elected, they're going to try and invoke the fort. Now, granted, he's a politician. He could be entirely full of hot air and just,
well,
pontificating for the captive audience.
The size of the win is what really took the wind, is taking the wind out of their sails. But believe me, they ain't giving up. This is the end of the deep state, and they're going to do everything. We're on YouTube, so we got to be careful on what we're saying here because YouTube sucks. Part of the Google deal. In fact, we should probably, because most of what we're going to talk about tonight, the censors at YouTube don't want you to hear. So, do we have anybody watching on YouTube that needs to come over to Rumble?
There aren't any comments in YouTube yet, but the show's really only been up for 5 or 6 minutes. But if anyone does want to come from YouTube over to Rumble, there should be a link in the description below. If there is not, and I neglected to put it in there, just go to Rumble and The Green Beret Life, all one word. You'll find us.
Oh, speaking of which, we put out an email. We made a mistake last week. Okay.
Yep, I fixed it.
Yeah. So somebody wanted our email last week, and we gave them the wrong.
Yeah, that was me, and and unfortunately, it's been that way for a long ass time. We just never noticed it, and
I didn't notice it either. I was sitting here and didn't notice that. I'm like, but nothing ever clicked to say, oh, the is not on there. So
and I apologize for anyone that's been trying to reach Matt or I, because we've been soliciting you to email us with anything that you have, and if we have not, it is my fault entirely because I'm the one that created the banner. The email address was originally just listed as greenberetlife@gmail.com. The correct email address is TheGreenBeretLife@gmail.com, same as the channel. It was an oversight on my part. I fall upon my sword.
I can take as much blame because I sat there and looked at it and didn't catch it. So yeah, it's part of. I mean, you guys should know that we are not the 100% most professional run show. This is part of our charm, right? We like to tell ourselves that, anyways. So I mean, you have me sitting in a damn truck down in a grocery store parking lot underneath an antenna half the time, right? So where you can't see me, you just hear me, right? So please have patience with us on this stuff, and we apologize for anything that we did. So you ready to switch over to Rumble and kick YouTube to the curb?
Yeah, we had one user pop up on YouTube. James S popped up, said salute and salutations. I pointed him over to Rumble. We're going to go over there, James, because it's easier to carry on a productive conversation than try and tiptoe around the different cow patties that YouTube likes to throw out for you to step in.
Southern Poverty Law Center and those types of who's done work for YouTube in the past on censoring anything that doesn't go to the narrative. So YouTube is garbage. Google is garbage. Hopefully this is going to get sorted out here real soon from what happened last night. So thank you for joining us. Please come over and join the conversation at Rumble. And
absolutely,
we'll go from there.